Chapter 3. How the 3 knights came to the court of King Languines, and the other knights in the litter, and his traitorous wife, by command of Amadis. On the 3rd day after the Child of the Sea had left the court of King Languines, the 3 brethren arrived there with their false sister and her wounded husband in a litter, and they delivered the woman into the king's hands on the part of a new knight who had lately left his court. The king blessed himself at hearing the woman's wickedness, and, turning to the wounded man, said, "Methinks so wicked a woman as your wife deserveth not to live." "Sire," said he, "do therein what you think fit, but I will never consent to kill the thing that I most love." So the brethren then took leave of the king, and carried with them the wounded knight, leaving their sister to receive judgment. The king said to her, "Thy husband is more loyal to thee than thou hast been to him, but ye shall dearly abide your falsehood," and he made her be burnt. Languine marvelled much at who the knight could be, for no one but Oriana and the damsels who had been with her knew that the Child of the Sea was knighted, and the king thought that he was gone to visit Gandalaise. The squire was standing by who had lodged him, and afterwards conducted him to the castle where he delivered King Perion. "It may be," quoth he, "a young knight with whom I and a damsel of Denmark that is here kept company for a while." "Know you his name?" said Languine. "No, sire, but he is young and exceedingly fair, and I saw him do such rare deeds of chivalry in so little time that, in my opinion, if he live, he will prove one of the best knights in the world." Then discoursed he of all that he had seen him achieve in rescue of King Perion, and added, "Mayhaps the damsel who came hither with me can tell ye more tidings of him, for I met them together." Presently she was sent for, whereupon she declared so much as she knew, chiefly how Urganda brought him the lance, and said that it was for the best knight in the world. "But in sooth," quoth she, "I know not his name, for never I could learn of him." "Ah, God," said the king, "who may it be?" Now she who loved him doubted not who it was, but she was in great trouble, for the king her father had sent for her, and loath was she to go where she could not oft receive news from him whom she loved more than herself. After 6 days the king was conferring with his son Argaise, who was now about departing to succor the king his uncle. There came in a damsel and knelt to the prince, and said, Sir, hear me a while before the king your father." Then took she in her hand a helmet with so many sword dints and breaches that there was not a sound place in it. "Take, sire, this helmet instead of the head of Galpano. I present it to you on the part of a young knight whom of all living is best becomes to follow arms. And this he sends you because Galpano dishonored a damsel who was going on your service." "What?" quoth the king. "Is Galpano overcome by the hand of one man? This certainly must be the same young knight." And he asked the damsel if he knew his name. That learnt I," she answered with great importunity. "He is called Child of the Sea." "Ah," quoth Argaise, "where may I find him?" "My lord, he commendeth himself to you, giving you to understand that you shall find him at the wars." Great was the joy for these good tidings of the Child of the Sea, but above all was his lady Oriana rejoiced, though she concealed it. The king inquiring from the damsels how he was knighted, and when they told him by their means, he replied, "More courtesy hath he found in you than in me, though I only delayed, thinking he was yet too young." The damsel now delivered her bidding to Argaise, and he departed with a good company for Gaul.